whoever's watching on YouTube, let me know if you are ready to see my second ever stand-up set at Ladies' Night, Oasis, just over a week ago, or no, a little over a week ago. Not this past Tuesday, but August 4th at Oasis. We are ready. So I'm going to go into the react mode here and pull it up. So are we ready, people? Let's do this. Let's full screen that shit. Let me see if I can. Oh, no, that works. Okay, I'm just going to test the levels. Yeah, there I am. And just so everyone knows, I've never been more nervous in my entire life. Truly. Actually, I think the first time I ever went up, I was a little more nervous than this. I started getting more excited nervous for this one because there was, the room was, it was pretty fucking packed and it was a really good crowd. So I think that helped. But yeah, I was nervous as fuck and I'm wondering if it comes through. So here we go. Oh God.
Hello, everybody. Who's single? Who the hell is single in here? Let's hear it. It's not enough people. I'm very single. I've been single.
I remember that moment because I just really wanted people to relate to me. And I was like, the more single people that I know are in the room, the more comfortable I'll be about my jokes because it's all about being single pretty much. Well, not all of it, but a good chunk of it. And it's just funny that I got like a mild response on that question. So let's keep going.
For almost 9 years, which is almost a decade, and that's too long. When you're single that long, people tell you a lot of reasons why you're single. The thing that I get a lot is actually guys are intimidated by your big personality, which is really stupid because that's just another way of saying that I'm really fun. So ladies in here tonight, if you found someone, I'm really happy for you. You deserve it. You're just boring.
Okay, so that joke is one of my favorites. And when I did it on my first set, it was the one that got the biggest laughs. I initially didn't open with the big personality joke. But because it got the biggest amount of laughs on my first go around, I decided to open with it. So that was something I slightly tweaked for Ladies' Night, among 1,000 other things.
Yeah, so I've been single a long time. I'm 33, and I have no idea what it feels like to have a guy wrap a blanket around me. That's the level of intimacy I don't have in my life. People think I'm really anti-couple and bitter, and I don't think that's the case at all. I'm a big supporter of couples. I'm there for girlfriends when they get a night out with the girls, and I'm there for their boyfriends when they fuck me.
Oh God, hearing that back is it's so fucking harsh. It really truly is. That's one of my oldest jokes. I wrote that joke I think in 2015, honestly. Because there was an episode of the podcast that me and Shannon were going over the notes in our phone, and one of the notes was that joke I made about people think I'm anti-couple, but I'm a big supporter of couples. I'm there for their the girlfriends when they need I'm already fucking it up. It's a very wordy joke. I'm there for their girlfriends when they need a night out, and I'm there for their boyfriends when they fuck me. And it's brutal, but it's one of those brutal things about my life that yeah, I fucking did that terrible shit. I know it's terrible now. Doesn't change the fact that I did it. And it was a life experience, that I thought I could make funny. But let's hear the second part of this.
So it's also weird because I'm also a big overthinker. So I'm actually more insecure and paranoid when I'm with a single guy who might be out sleeping around, which is very bizarre. So really the only upside to being the other woman is you always know exactly who they're fucking. Is anyone brave enough in here?
Oh, God. All right. If anyone has feedback about those two jokes, let me know. Those are... that two-part joke is one that I was more nervous about. The reason being is it's really not a good feature of myself to put out there. And I was worried that, a lot of my stuff is really self-deprecating. And my concern was do I have any wins in these jokes? They're all very dark, very self-deprecating. The big personality one was a little more cocky, kind of being people tell me that I'm single because I'm just too intimidating. Girls, if you found a boyfriend, you're boring. I really like that angle of it. But then I take it around to this one where I'm I've fucked people's boyfriends and it's shitty. But the second part of that joke was I wanted to talk more about being the other woman sucks. Don't do it. It says a lot about you if you do it. The only upside is you always know who they're fucking. I wanted to hit home that it's bad. Don't do it. It's not a good thing to do.
To admit to taking Plan B. Can any? Okay, I guess some B can phrases. Sweet. It's weird. A lot of women have talked about doing Plan B. It's something I've never done, which is shocking considering my porn history. It's just a little shocking. So I've never taken Plan B, and I have a lot of casual sex, and I'm on and off the pill, so it can be risky sometimes. But I'm playing it safe, and also I'm a romantic, so I'm saving Plan B for a relationship.
Okay, so the Plan B joke has been through the ringer of edits because when number one, I struggled with saying, I went back and forth between saying, I'm saving Plan B for a relationship or I'm saving cream pies for a relationship. And I always thought cream pies sounded funnier. But my whole point is and I had to explain in there, I have casual sex and I'm on and off the pill, so it's risky. And actually something I've added since this set is I say, I want it to be special. So I'm saving Plan B for a relationship. I added the I want it to be special part because I've always heard stories about guys buying their girlfriend's Plan B and how it's this thing that they turn into this romantic thing of going to get Plan B together as a couple. So I enjoy the Plan B joke. I feel like it didn't land as good on my first set. It landed really well here. And then I didn't do it my last two sets at the little coffee shop. So I'll have to test that joke on smaller crowds. But I enjoy that. I love the Plan B joke. Okay.
Can we talk about Britney Spears for a second? Who's following Britney on Instagram right now? Let's talk about Britney. She's not doing too well. I feel like my life as well has been about as stable as her Instagram account. Britney burnt down her own house gym and kind of acted like it was nothing, and her fans are yas queening her in the comments. And I just want to take a moment to talk about her makeup. It's not great. Britney is looking like an older Avril Lavigne who just got face fucked. It's not good. If you're a fan of Britney in here, I just want to let you know, I'm a fan too. If you're a fan of Britney and you think she's okay right now, you're not okay right now.
I love that.
The Free Britney movement, it's in full effect. This is a fan-created movement because apparently Britney's father is in control of her life and her finances. And I'm a big supporter of this movement. I'm a fan of the Free Britney movement. I just also think her hair and makeup team should also be set free.
Another one I was scared to do. The Free Britney joke is one of my longer jokes. And one of the things that I struggled with this joke was there's two sides of it. A lot of people thought that I keep it simple and I just maybe cut out explaining what Free Britney is and I just get right to the point. But another friend of mine was like, well, not everyone in the crowd will really know her presence online or know what the Free Britney movement is. So it's worth adding, a little comment about how she's a mess. She burnt down her own gym. And then she kind of posted about it like it was nothing. And people are such fans of her that they're Yas queening her. When really this is a mentally ill person who, like, I will never Yas queen her because I think she needs help. I think she shouldn't be on social media. I literally am such a huge Britney Spears fan. But it was just one of those things I found humorous, like reading the comments on her posts, because everyone's, you had the people that were like, you okay, girl? And like, then you had the other people who were like, yes, dance queen. Like, and it was this really bizarre thing to witness. So I had to add, she worked in her own house gym. Her makeup she looks like an older Avril Lavigne who just got face fucked. I'm still wanting to find a better way to describe her makeup because I think people like the face fucked part. I don't know if I like the Avril Lavigne part. Like I'm working on that one. So I might change that. But essentially what I'm going for with that is like, her makeup's messy. It looks like she just gave a really rough blowjob. Like, so yeah, that was, and I just love I literally, like, when I came up with this joke, I thought of the punchline first. I was like, okay, free Britney. But she looks like she's a mess. I wish her hair and makeup team would also be set free.
A little admission to make tonight. I'm an addict, but it's nothing crazy, don't worry. I'm actually a love addict, which being a love addict means that you're addicted to the pursuit of romantic love. And how fucking sad is that? Like, I don't even get the fix half the time. I'm addicted to the pursuit of it. It's pretty sad. And really, like, it's not badass at all. Like, the worst thing that can happen to a drug addict is you might overdose and die. The worst thing that can happen to a love addict is you don't call us back. It's not good. And sex is also really weird for us, because if you happen to make us come, we will fall in love with you hard. It's not a fair trade-off at all, because the guy gets to roll over and pass out, and I have to plan a wedding. I'm thinking October.
Okay. So the love addict joke is one of my favorites that I have. I think the first part of the joke where I say, I think it's good that I explain what the love addict is and that it's lame, or it's like, it seems sad. The first part of the joke, I think, didn't land quite as well as the second part. So the part where I essentially say, the worst part of being a drug addict is, you might overdose and die. The worst part of being a love addict is you don't. I think I said in this. Did I say call or text? Let me go back.
And I have to plan a wedding.
Wait.
We will fall in love with you hard. It's not a.
Damn it. Let's see.
It's not good. And sex is also really weird for us.
Damn it.
Dude of it. It's pretty sad. And really, like, it's not badass at all. Like, the worst thing that can happen to a drug addict is you might overdose and die. The worst thing that can happen to a love addict is you don't call us back.
So I alter between text and call, and I don't know which one's better in that situation. I think I'll just probably allow myself to just do whatever feels, I guess, best in the moment kind of thing, maybe. I don't really know. But it that part of the joke is the weaker part, and I don't know why that would be. Like, maybe, I don't know. This is one I gotta test more as well, I think. I just find that the wedding part, well, like, in the times that I've done it, the 4 times I've done it, it's only been 4, the wedding part is always the part that gets the laughs, and the worst part gets, like, mild laughs or none. So that's interesting. Let's go back to this.
It's not good. And sex is also really weird for us.
I feel like
hard. I have to plan a wedding. I'm thinking October.
The little fucking leg kick.
Who's depressed? Awesome. So am I. I've been doing a lot of those, like, mental health assessments online, and it's really weird. Like, I wish there was a mildly suicidal option, because with those questions, it's always you either are or you're not. And there's no in between with that. And like I'm not quite there yet. Like I'm not gonna do anything. I don't wear my seatbelt anymore. And like if I happen to be taking a bubble bath and you happen to throw a toaster at me, I just like might not catch it. We'll see what happens with that. Also, like,
so that joke went over well this night. It did not go over well last night. People laugh. It's weird. People laugh at me just saying, why isn't there a mildly suicidal option? I will get laughs at that. And then last night, I lost them at, I think they laughed at seatbelt, and then they didn't really laugh at the toaster part, which is interesting because it went over good here. So this is like another one I think I just got to try more. This is another one that I was scared to do. It's another one also that I had other tags for. Like I think another tag I had was, I love jokes that, just like they kind of keep going and they get worse and worse. So like I start with, I just don't wear my seatbelt anymore. And then I wait a second and then I say, if I'm like taking a bath and you happen to throw a toaster at me, I just might not catch it. And then the other one I had was I'll never turn down a walk over the McKay Bridge on a windy night. So I'm trying to think of things like that like just get worse and worse and worse. And I don't know. I love this. So a little explanation about this. So this suicide joke has two parts as well. So we talked about the mildly suicidal, and then now there's this other part that when I've been doing the open mics, I haven't been doing this other part because it's just a long joke. So let's hear the second part of this joke.
Not all my suicidal thoughts are actually about suicide, and this is where it gets weird. So just the other day I had a breakdown, and it was awful. I was ugly, crying all day with no makeup on, just like ready to end it all. And I looked in the mirror and I thought, I don't want anyone to find me this way. So I started to put makeup on in the middle of the breakdown, which is insane because that's like touching up an oil painting just to chuck it in a river. Like, that makes no sense whatsoever. And so, really, like, I was just thinking to myself,
you know what? That's me forgetting what's next and just looking at my notes in a panic.
Nothing to offer, but at least when they find me, they can appreciate my contour. But then, there might be a moment when the medical examiner is like, wiping it all off, like the 7 layers of makeup I have on, and he might look down at me and think, oh, I know why she did this. Life's not all that, though. Life's not all that. Have a fuck buddy.
I could hear Scott laughing at that one. Scott McLean helped me with the whole suicide joke. Gave me some really good advice on that joke, and it was just such a help with that one. So with that one, yeah, I've only done this. Did I do? I can't remember if I did the second part of the suicide joke my first time or not. I think I did, but I haven't done it the past 2 times. With that one, again, it's longer, it's a little more wordy, but I think the payoff is really good if people in the crowd have a dark sense of humor, because the point of that joke is like, number one, it's just funny that someone could be so vain that they're like depressed and like kind of wanting to kill themselves, but like also wanting to like look hot when they do it. But also like the idea of like, oh, the medical examiner will be wiping it off and will look down and say, I know why she did this. And that has 2 meanings. The first one being, I know why she killed herself, and also I know why she put makeup on. So I enjoy that joke. I don't know. It's dark. It's real dark. But I think that's another one I gotta test. Especially I'll probably test that in rooms where I have 7 minutes, because I certainly cannot do it. If I did this on a 3 to 4 minute open mic, it would be tough. So That's the suicide bit. That's definitely like one of my darker bits, but I really, really love it. And it's a tough one to remember all the components of. I think with that, I had to write notes. Like, I had to make sure I had bullet points under the title of the joke to be like, okay, make sure you say this part, and this part. Like, because it is a longer joke. And it's also new. I only wrote that joke because literally this was an experience that I had, and it was over quarantine. And I'm pretty sure it happened like a month ago. Like, when comedy first came back, it was right before going to Oasis that I was literally like in the middle of a breakdown and had the inspiration for this joke. So it is newer, and it's dark, but I enjoy it.
He was a hot firefighter.
Okay,
and he might look down at me and think, oh, I know why she did this. Life's not all that, though. Life's not all that. I have a fuck buddy who's a hot firefighter. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Over the lockdown, though, he didn't want to come over to my apartment because he was scared of COVID. And this is a guy who runs into burning buildings. Like, he runs inside burning buildings, but he won't come over and get inside me. Like, this guy risks getting PTSD, but won't give me the D. Like, it's really, really messed up. And also, too, like, he's supposed to, like, part of his job is to prevent people from getting burning sensations. And he's doing a bad job of that because I might have chlamydia. There was some hope, though. There was some hope for me when they
So far, oddly enough, so far, I feel like the chlamydia part always gets laughs. Like, I've done that, like, I think the 3 out of the 4 times I've done stand-up, I've added the chlamydia part, because that is true. It came back negative, but that is something that literally happened, and I put it in. It wasn't originally in there at all. Now, something with that is, like, a couple things about that. I stumbled a couple times. And what else about it? I think, oh yeah, where I said PTSD. Hang on.
It's really, really messed up. And also, too, like, he's supposed to, like, scared of COVID. And this is a guy who runs into burning buildings. Like,
this is where I fucked up. I stumbled on burning.
He runs inside burning buildings, but he won't come over and get inside me. Like, this guy risks getting PTSD, but won't give me the D. Like,
oh, that's another thing. So that tag, normally when I say it, I'm supposed to say, he will, oh, how do I say it? It's like, he will be fuck, how do I say it? It's like, he will find, this guy finds burnt, charred, dead bodies and gets PTSD but won't give me the D. Like, I actually, like, I was supposed to make it darker than just saying he risks getting PTSD. But I think it can work either way. Like, I don't necessarily know if I need the, he finds burnt, charred, like, it's maybe unnecessary. So maybe I don't, add to the darkness of that one. But I do love the chlamydia part. Part of the feedback that I got from Scott, actually, who was at the show, he said, you don't need to say sensations. You can just say he's supposed to prevent people from burning. It still works, I think. But
it's really, really messed up. And also, too, like, he's supposed to, like, part of his job is to prevent people from getting burning sensations. And he's doing a bad job of that because I might have chlamydia.
I don't necessarily know if I need sensations in there or not, but jury's out on that. We'll see. Let's we're getting close to the end, guys. Okay.
There was some hope, though. There was some hope for me when they opened up the immediate family bubble. It was immediate family only, so it didn't take me long to let them know, hey, I think of you like a brother. Okay, we're going to end on this one, guys.
That is a Facebook status that I turned into a joke. That's literally a status that I wrote on Facebook.
Do you guys know what edging is? So edging is where guys will kind of hold off on giving you an orgasm so that it eventually leads to a bigger, more intense orgasm. And I realized lately that like most of my partners have done that for me my entire life, just not the orgasm part. I think their intentions are in the right place, but I just have to let you know, dudes, it doesn't count as edging if you get up, leave, and drive home. But I'll still love you. Thank you so much.
Okay. That is it. That wasn't so bad to watch. I need your guys' thoughts. What did you think? The edging joke I picked as the closer. But I've only done that joke this time. I haven't done it since. Since. And I don't know. I don't know if it's funny enough to close on. I think I could maybe put it towards the middle of the set, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to play with that one. But I do love the idea of like... and I kind of want to use the edging joke to help me with a new joke I have. You could pull the wedding planning into the end of the edging joke. Oh, interesting, Caitlin. I see what you mean. Because I talk about how if you happen to make us come... Interesting. That's a good thought, actually. Or what if I did it... So I could potentially put that... Doesn't count as edging if you get up, leave, and drive home. But remember, I'm a love addict. So if you happen to make us come, we will fall in love with you. I still love you. But you could say, like, I'm still planning that October. Oh, interesting. Just leave the ending out of the edging joke and edge the audience. That's funny. It would be funny to just cut off. Yeah, just cut off the joke at some point and then just get off stage. That's actually that's cute. I like that idea. I like both those ideas, but I'm still planning that October wedding. That's really interesting feedback because I don't know if it's maybe I close on chlamydia. Like maybe I close on the firefighter chlamydia bit because it has been getting, I would say, the most laughs out of all of them. The wedding one does well. The chlamydia one does well. I think the worst, I'm just trying to think of what I think the worst one would be. And I think it's the worst part of being a love addict. The worst part of it being a drug addict is you might overdose and die. The worst part about being a love addict is you don't text us back, which I find funny because it literally is the worst thing that can happen to us. We will spiral. We truly will. It's weird. I was pretty proud of Ladies' Night, but I know that not all shows will be like that. So not all shows are going to have the crowds like that. And a lot of them will be smaller crowds. So if you do dark personal stuff, it has less of a chance of hitting in a coffee shop, as it would in a bar, I need my bar people. I need my degenerates. Those are my people. So I might play with that idea though. Bringing it back to the love addict. Because it all kind of ties together in a weird way. And the suicide stuff, it was important for me to put that in there. It kind of just goes off on a dark tangent. But I'm a huge fan of the suicide joke. I think I have to test the second part more. I don't want to be more sad than funny. I want it to be more funny than sad, if that makes any sense. Everything will be a bit sad, but I want it to be funny sad, not sad funny. Does that make sense? Catherine Robertson, I love her. I love her.
Fucking fantastic. I do want to point out, not only is Sarah very funny, she is also the wonderful host of the Intoxicated Podcast, which comes out every Friday. So you guys can check that out wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, all those good things. Follow her on Instagram. Instagram. You can know exactly what's going on.
Woohoo! What a night that was. That was wild. That was a wild experience.
But then, there might be a moment when the medical examiner is like wiping it all off, like the 7 layers of makeup I have on, and he might look down at me and think, oh, I know why she did this. Life's not all bad though.
Okay, that was a part that I could have paused longer too. That was a piece of feedback I got, was when they're laughing, just let them laugh and don't rush into the next joke. Like, just pause for a second and don't rush so much. So that's like feedback, like for any comic really. Like, the slowing down is harder than I would say that it looks. So it is what it is. This is a learning experience for me. I think it's, with that joke, it's really just about, I think, not riffing on myself so much that it gets more wordy than it has to be. But that's it, you guys. That's the second set. Yeah, that was fun to watch back. I don't know if I should, like, if there are comedians watching right now, let me know your opinion on posting early on sets on the internet. Because technically I just did it, but this will be mashed in with other footage, so it's not like it's a standalone thing. But I want to know your opinions on that, because, like, is it tacky? Should I not do it? I don't really know. Now, one thing I will say is that last night I definitely overacted. I was rattled before I went up, because right before I went up, I spilled an entire beer on the table. And it rattled me. Because when you're at a table with friends and you spill a beer and it ruins everything. Like, the mood just shifts to, like, that's essentially what happened right before I went up. And then I had to clean up the beer, and I was all frazzled, and I was like, ah! And I went up, and it was towards the end. The crowd was teetering off. They, these open mics have 15 comics doing 3 to 4 minutes each, and I was number 13. So they were teetering, like, they were still good, but they were teetering off. And I didn't record last night's set, but it was bad. Like, it wasn't, I think I was overacting. I was over delivering, like, the lines. Like, the big personality joke I say with some sass. Like, I go, people tell me that I've been single for so long because of my big personality, which is kind of how I delivered it on Ladies Night. But last night I was like, people tell me I'm single for so long because of my big like, I think I was overacting to compensate for the fact that I was, like, rattled and nervous and anxious and just wanted it to be over with. So that's a lesson I learned last night. Just fucking calm down, Sarah, and stop being so performative, and just fucking say the jokes the way that they were written, which is definitely with some emotion and sass, but not so much. Like, it's all, like, the jokes themselves are already so much. I don't have to add, like, guys think, big personality. Like I definitely, I overacted last night. And I also was really rushed because it was 3 minutes. What you just saw was, I think, was it 11 jokes? Actually, it was 10. So this is from Ladies Night. And it was 10 jokes. Last night, because it was 3 to 4 minutes, I did 6. So I did the first part of the suicide joke, the mildly suicidal part. I ended on like a brother, which is another good one. Like, gets laughs. Like, I could easily end on that immediate family bubble joke. But I did feel rushed because, again, this is just a concern I have being someone newer doing stand-up, is timing. And the only way that I will get a sense of timing and how long everything is and stuff like that is just doing more sets. So I just got to keep keep doing these open mics and figuring out timing. So I have to get used to seeing the light and being like, okay, wrap it the fuck up. It's going to be a challenge. It's challenging. I won't lie. It's not podcasting, you know, like not at all. Like podcasting is like, yeah, let's just talk. Let's just sit back and talk. And, you know, around 2 hours, we'll start to cut it off. But like free form, long form conversation, like going from being used to that to curating these jokes and like figuring out which ones to do and, you know, like in what order. Like I can't be in my comfort zone of like, okay, I'm only comfortable with my jokes if they're in this order. Like that's just not how it works. Because when you get further down in comedy, like you will have a bunch of jokes that you'll just be like, okay, which ones am I picking tonight? And you'll just pick them and do them. So, but I thank you guys for tuning in to this really random live stream. That's going to get me some footage for my series on YouTube. So I'm going to do a part 3 and I'm going to put this clips from this little live stream in of me reacting to the set. I may or may not make the ladies' night set public on YouTube. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't mind putting it up, but I also don't want to be tacky about it. So, thank you guys for the feedback and tuning in. Thank you for watching. And I will see you when I see you, I guess. Okay. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.